Guys, do you know android number 21? Do you know how it came about? Because before Goku destroyed the red ribbon, he let a beautiful girl survive, and now she is going after her beloved Saiyan. Well, you will see everything here, but before we get started, let's reach the goal of 1,000 likes on this video. Will we be able to do it? Anyway, subscribe to the channel and let's start the story now. It all starts at a base located in the southern capital. A base that was surrounded by signs warning that no one under any circumstances walked there. It appeared to be a laboratory which was protected by several layers of snow, as the southern region of the capital was known for having a lot of snow. In this laboratory that was once the central communications point of the old Red Ribbon base, it was still inhabited by a great and forgotten scientist. She still lived there, even though Red Ribbon was completely annihilated by a little boy called Son Goku. Several people would think that this scientist was there seeking revenge against the boy for what he had done against the former Red Ribbon organization. However, they could not be more than wrong. This scientist, who was once married to the old maniac named Dr. Giro, who modified her to be a perfect android. And so when Dr. Giro finished his mission, he married his own creation and later ended up giving birth to his first son, known as android number 16. Everything in Dr. Giro's life seemed to be going perfectly well until the day the scientist ended up admiring a boy for destroying that Red Ribbon base. So the girl scientist finally ended up being freed from Dr. Giro, imprisoned and controlling her entire life, and never gave her the love and attention she deserved. Yes, this brilliant scientist was called Vomi, who is now better known as Android 21. As the years went by, she began to admire Goku more and more, and she began to feel a great feeling growing in her body. A feeling so great that any moment she could explode with so much emotion. This secret, she researched a lot about the Saiyan who ended up being responsible for her freedom. With her high technology in hand, she managed to take several photos of the Saiyan in secret using a micro-robot. With it, she came to know and see absolutely everything what she needed to know about Goku. Android number 21 said, "Ah, my beloved Goku, if you only knew how happy you make me, even though you're far from me. I can't bear the idea that you're not by my side. Fortunately, the moment where we will see each other is closer than ever. Wow, I love you so much. I want to see you soon so that we can have our loving moment that we didn't have the opportunity to have," Vomi said while writing in her small notebook. Android number 21 said, "This notebook holds everything about you. Absolutely everything. Your habits, tastes, personality, body. I know everything about you, Goku. You will definitely accept me. And very soon, we will have our honeymoon that has been saved for both of us for so long," Vomi said, who every moment had a happy face and an embarrassed cheek. Number 21 was completely excited, even more excited than she normally would be, and little by little she couldn't hide the anxiety and desire she had to finally see her beloved. She was eager to finally see Goku, the one who took her from a cruel and terrible fate, the one who freed her, the one who made her fall in love again. She was completely obsessed, and although she knew it and was aware of her love obsessive, she wouldn't give the slightest importance to something like that, since nothing could stop it. In her laboratory, there were several photos of Goku pasted on the walls, with heart symbols and various information about the Saiyan that Android 21 had collected over the years. She was always watching Goku, and although she saw the moments when Goku spent due to dangers, she chose not to help him, as she believed she did not possess the strength necessary to accompany her beloved. But after collecting all the data from her legendary battle against the primitive monster Majin, she had finally found the strength she was looking for, an unstoppable force that could be worthy of the love she felt for Goku. Vomi said, "Well, preparations are ready. After all this time, I'll be able to get closer to Goku. I'm certainly aware that his wife won't allow me to get close to him, but she won't be able to do anything at all. She's just a useless earthling who's getting in the way of my life. Love with my dear son Goku, she will definitely not be an obstacle," spoke the android, who completely changed her face and her body, transforming into its original form. And her face that was previously one of happiness now had a serious and irritated face when she talked about Chi-Chi. When Vomi finally decided to get closer to Goku, she was ready to leave her life as a scientist once and for all. She was doing this for Goku, so she would do absolutely anything for him. She was leaving the laboratory, and when she completely turned off her laboratory system, she left towards a city. This city was where Goku and his family lived peacefully, and this city was quite far from her old laboratory in the south. It would take a while for her to reach her loved one, but that didn't matter to her. She knew that she would eventually reach her destination, and when she arrived, nothing would stop her, and that immense love she felt for the Saiyan created on Earth. While Vomi was flying through the skies quickly, we moved to Goku's city, where Goku and his son Goten were training hard. Goten was constantly advancing towards his father with the intention of landing some type of punch or kick. However, Goten was never able to hit Goku, no matter how strategic he was. Goten appeared to be tired, but his father was completely normal and showed no signs of exertion. After this little training between father and son, the two were calm, looking at the heavens while admiring the big, clear blue sky. It was then that suddenly Goten began to feel sensations, and little by little he began to feel a large ki that appeared not to be an evil type of ki, but he could not confirm what type of ki was approaching. Goku, who had a happy face, also drastically changed his expression to a serious look. He was worried, because although this ki was not that strong, the amount of malice that came from this ki was something completely monstrous to Goku. At that moment, Goku and Goten had a big surprise. A figure ended up appearing before their eyes, a female figure with red hair and very charming glasses. The evil ki had arrived faster than Goku and Goten expected. Goku was surprised because that woman just looked at him. It was as if she was trying to look inside him. And although Goten was looking at his father, she seemed to act as if only Goku was in that place. Goten said, "Hey you, do you know my father? It's not normal for people like you to appear so suddenly. Your ki is very evil. Tell me, who are you and what do you want?" The boy said, worried because a battle could happen there at any moment. Vomi, who was only looking at Goku, had completely ignored Goten's question, and little by little she approached the Saiyan. Goku, who didn't know how to react and didn't expect something like this to happen, just stood there, watching what the girl was intending to do. It was then that Android 21 put his hand on Goku's face, and at the same moment she became embarrassed. Goku said, "Oh, hello. Do we know each other from somewhere? I feel like I've seen you somewhere, but I can't remember where," said the Saiyan while placing his hand on his head and scratching it. Android number 21 said, "You, Goku, were a very special person in my life. The day you destroyed Red Ribbon when I was a boy, because I am Dr. Gero's creation. I belong to him. But you, Son Goku, freed me, and that was the moment I began to admire you. And with that admiration, a love emerged within me over the years. My name is Vomi, but I'm an android. Android number 21. Said Vomi, who now placed his hand on his face with a malicious and perverted expression. Goku said, I just remembered. You were a girl at the Red Ribbon office, right? Wow, how many times have changed, right? Well, it surprises me that you are also an android like my friend number 18, said the Saiyan, who remembered Vomi before destroying Red Ribbon's base. She had seen this woman running to protect herself from Goku's battle against Red Ribbon. Goku, who felt an evil ki coming from that girl, ended up not caring much and was beginning to be convinced that she had no bad intentions. So he decided to invite her to a lunch he was about to have at his house. So they went home, with Goten being completely ignored by his father and number 21. When they entered, Chi-Chi found the girl strange, as he had never seen her anywhere. And although she wasn't sure, she was beginning to suspect her intentions. But even so, she allowed the guests to enter. As everyone sat down, the atmosphere seemed to be strange between Vomi and Goku, as the girl got closer and closer to Goku. And as this went on, it seemed like she was about to throw herself at Goku. She was very happy, and when she got as close as possible to Goku, she grabbed him with a hug where Goku's face was trapped in Android 21's breasts. At that moment, Goku didn't have any kind of reaction, as Goku didn't realize what was happening because of his great naivety. However, Chi-Chi paid attention to this, and when she saw this with her eyes, she couldn't bear to see such boldness coming from a stranger, and so she ended up expelling Vomi from her home. And although Goku said he didn't understand what was happening, Goku could see all of Chi-Chi's anger through his red aura and the scolding he received. Vomi, outside, just smiled at all this, accepted Chi-Chi's expulsion, but in the girl's thoughts she was not going to give up at all. Goku would definitely be hers, and no one would stop that. Android number 21, who was having trouble getting close to Goku after being kicked out by Chi-Chi. Despite being in her most humanized form, she had an ace up her sleeve. If Goku didn't listen to her, she would draw Goku's attention with her transformation, the most evil part of her. She waited for her beloved, always collecting information about Goku, and she knew that she would have some idea of having Goku all to herself, without having to eliminate anyone. And of course, number 21 wouldn't give up on her goal so easily. She was determined, and as love is known to sweep away any type of barrier, number 21 was confident that one time or another, she would be able to win over her beloved, no matter how much she liked Goku. She knew Goku's naive way and will use this to try to win him over little by little. At the same moment that she was expelled by Chi-Chi, her body was filled with a constant and explosive rage. She was already hungry and was about to transform and kill Chi-Chi. However, she controlled herself and knew that if she did that, she could attract a lot of attention, and that's definitely not what she needed right now. All she wanted to do was be in her beloved's arms, to be able to feel his touch, and also to let him wrap her body around the Saiyan. Number 21 said, "With Chi-Chi glued to Goku, it will be a great challenge to win him over as I want. Not to mention that as much as I would take him by force, this will be a problem because we could end up fighting, and that wouldn't be cool. Goku will end up hating me. I have to think of something. Goku, wait for me. You will be mine. Nothing will stop us." Vomi said, imagining what her life would be like next to the Saiyan. As android number 21 tried to plan her next steps, Chi-Chi decided she wanted to talk to Goku alone. You could see the angry expression on her face. It looked like she had the power to wipe Goku off the face of the earth with one punch. However, no matter how angry she was, she didn't do anything to Goku. Instead, she starts crying. Chi-Chi, who was trying to speak with difficulty while crying, said that Goku is a bad father. And now that this unexpected situation has happened, Chi-Chi, who was trying to compose herself in Goku's arms, says that this is the first time in her entire life that she feels jealous of him. And because of that, she is afraid that Goku will end up abandoning her for being such a difficult and scandalous woman. Goku said, "Listen, Chi-Chi, I know I was a bad father. I was never very present in my children's lives, especially in the moments when I was dead. But whether I wanted to or not, I could be revived. But I didn't want to, and I ended up remembering the time Bulma said that I attract bad things. And when I thought about it a lot, she was certainly right. However, I also realized that I have always trained to overcome my limits. But now I feel like I can fight for something bigger. For you, for Gohan, for Goten. I love my family, and I love you as my wife. Certainly, meeting you was the best thing that could happen in my life," said Goku, who hugged Chi-Chi tightly. Chi-Chi said, Goku, I'm sorry for being so scandalous. I'm sorry for being hard as a wife to you. I promise I'll be more understanding from now on, okay? I love you, my love," said Chi-Chi, who had recovered her spirits. After this conversation, as usual, Goku says he was starving, even though he had already eaten a short time ago. Goku, who saw Goten sitting at the table, asked him to get a camera that was under a drawer in the closet, so he could take a photo of a couple between him and Chi-Chi. And so it was done. The photo was taken, and the memories would be kept forever. Meanwhile, number 21 was walking around the West Capital. She was walking down the street with anguish. She was very agitated, and she was not finding any idea to be alone with Goku. Perhaps it was her agitation that was disturbing her thoughts, but that it didn't matter to her at that moment. All that mattered was Goku. Number 21 said, "Damn, I've been biting my finger for hours, but I can't find a single plausible outcome so I can be with my beloved Goku. Damn it, it won't stay like this. There's definitely a way. I know I can try to help Goku. No, I can have him all to myself when he's training alone. Yes, that'll definitely work." She spoke with an idea, but her anxiety wouldn't allow her to wait that long, so she started flying quickly towards Goku. Goku, who was napping absurdly on a sofa, had accidentally fallen asleep and ended up forgetting to sleep in bed with Chi-Chi. He slept like a log, and at that moment, number 21, who had already arrived very close to Chi-Chi's house and was already watching Goku from afar, and she ended up having the thought that her husband Goku was someone even more charming without his training clothes. While Goku was sleeping, he became easy prey so she could catch him. She approached Goku little by little, and quickly she managed to lift Goku. But by accident, Goku's face fell into her chest. At that moment, number 21 was red in the face with embarrassment, but she had no time to waste and put the Saiyan on her back and flew away, now in a strange place. Goku, who not long ago was asleep like an exhausted animal, suddenly wakes up and finds himself in a kind of jungle, surrounded by fruits and vegetables, surrounded by different wild animals. He didn't understand anything, precisely because he had no idea what was happening and how he ended up there. However, Goku remembered that he had teleportation, and he teleported to his house. When android number 21 returned, she had some fruits in her hand, and when she saw that Goku was no longer there, number 21 was sad and shaken, as her first attempt had completely failed. However, according to Vomi, this only increased her love, and next time she will certainly get the method of winning him right. On another sunnier day at the Capsule Corporation, Goku was about to start his training inside a very powerful barrier that Bulma had created for her husband to train. At that same moment, there was number 21, who was watching Goku with a passion and thirsty look, and little by little she was about to approach and start a conversation. However, her plans were destroyed by the presence of Krillin, Vegeta, who appeared to train with Goku. She was abruptly irritated because of these presences, who had no idea of the great love she felt for Goku. But number 21 didn't have any of the ideas of giving up in her head, so she soon decided to take the next stage of her plan. Number 21 said, "Well, I can't lose my control and transform here. I already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up right away and scare him. Yes, this will definitely surprise you. And when that happens, it'll be the perfect opportunity for me to strike and turn on my charm," spoke the android, who came out of her hiding place and went towards Goku. Gohan said, "Hey you, stop there! I've been sensing your ki for a while. Although it's weak, it gives off a huge evil aura. And for what I can see, you've been watching my father for a few days. At first I just thought you were some kind of stupid enemy. However, you seem to be a very close person to my father. Well, at least I think that's what it is, because my father never told me about you." Android 21 said, "I see you're Goku's son, aren't you? I'm sorry to say, but I've already been interrupted too much today. I won't tolerate any more interruptions. You brat, you dare to interfere? That's not something you do to a woman in love, you fool." Gohan said, "Well, apparently you're in danger," said Goku's son, who was positioning himself in a combat pose. Number 21 spoke. "Gohan, son of Goku, what are you doing here? This situation doesn't involve you in anything. It's better that you get out of here as soon as possible. I don't want to hurt you, believe me," spoke Balmy, while touching the fringe of his hair a little and looking seriously at the Saiyan. Gohan said, "Don't play nice with me. You transmit extremely evil ki, and although you try to hide it, I can feel it. So know that your efforts are useless. Tell me, what is the relationship you have with my father? No lies, say it now," shouted the Saiyan, who seemed to speak with extreme anger, while Android 21 let out a small smile on the corner of her face, completely red with embarrassment. Number 21 said, "Wow, how cute. You want to know about our relationship, right? Well, your father and I have known each other for a long time, since he was a boy. When he destroyed Red Ribbon, he ended up freeing me from my ex-husband, Dr. Gero, who imprisoned me and didn't pay me enough attention. From the moment your father saved me, a great feeling was born in me, a feeling of admiration. But as time passed, it transformed into the immense love that I feel for your father today. He understands? I love your father, and soon we will be a family. Aren't you happy, Gohan?" spoke android number 21, who began to laugh exaggeratedly, with an expression of happiness. Gohan said, "What are you talking about? Family? Where did you get this crazy idea? What makes you think my father would abandon my mother to be with you? Besides, he would never do that. There's only the fact that my father loves my mother, and although he's not good at feelings, he manages to convey that. This is something that you will never understand because you are an android and must be having problems with your database. said Gohan, who began to smile at android number 21. Android number 21 said, How dare you? How dare you say that to me, you brat? Your mother doesn't deserve Goku. I would be a much better wife for him. My love for him can overcome any difficulties. But of course, it's not something I expect a kid like you to understand. From what I know, you have a family, so you should understand me, right? We do everything for the people we love, and that's what I'm doing for your dad, spoke the android, very embarrassed when revealing everything to Goku's eldest son, and this left her embarrassed. Gohan said, Yes, I have a family. However, the love I have for Videl was conquered by her, and I did the same. We formed a relationship, a friendship, and fell in love. It was something natural, which is something very different from what you are doing, you crazy woman. You're practically forcing my father to do something he wouldn't agree with. Love doesn't work like that, you idiot, the Saiyan said, trying to convince android number 21 to stop chasing his father because he knew that if this continued, something bad could happen. Android number 21, who was looking at Gohan without saying anything, came to the conclusion that there was no point in continuing to talk to him. It would be a threat to his feelings. At the same moment, he made the decision to kill Goku's son and quickly headed towards the front of the Saiyan and was about to deliver a big right blow to Goku's son. However, Gohan, who was completely still, defended the android's blow with just his left elbow and then quickly delivered a large kick to the android's stomach. Android number 21, despite having been hit with a high power, was not complaining of any pain. In fact, she was smiling at Gohan with a sign of disappointment, as she expected more from the son of the man she is passionate about. Shortly after she received this blow, she decided to teleport using her speed, and then quickly swept under the Saiyan, which almost made him fall to the ground, if it weren't for her high agility and perception. In order not to fall, Gohan placed his right hand on the ground to position himself, and while he was positioning himself, he decided to attack android number 21 with a large concentrated ki kick that sent her flying towards some mountains. And soon after, he headed towards android at a high speed. Android 21 was covered by giant rocks. Gohan said, Hey, you crazy girl, let's change location. I don't want my father to see this. I can solve this alone, Gohan said, while letting out a small, arrogant smile, even though he knew that his father could arrive at any moment, since at this point in the championship, Goku had already realized the key from this battle. Android number 21, who had fallen among so many rocks in the middle of a mountain, soon recovered and began to raise her ki to high powers. And after having done this, android number 21 was completely different. Her skin was pink, her hair turned white, and now she had a tail, and her look conveyed a lot of evil. Gohan said, Damn, this crazy woman can also transform. She now looks like Majin Buu, but she's much stronger. Alright then, let's fight seriously. As the Saiyan said, he increased his ki, drastically activating his hidden power. Gohan was now in his mythical form. Gohan, despite not being scared by such a level, began to be cautious, and before android number 21 could even attack, Gohan teleported behind her and gave a sequence of heavy punches, accompanied by several kicks. He grabbed the leg of the android and spun her at high speed. Her speed was so high that it looked like a hurricane was about to form in that combat environment, and then Gohan threw her away, where she crashed into several mountains. But despite all these blows, android number 21 gets up, and she was intact, and seemed not even tired. And this was obvious due to the fact that she was an android. Android number 21 said, Hey Gohan, you're an idiot, but you fought very well. You are worthy of being Goku's son. I'm very proud of you. It'll be a pleasure to have you in my family, android number 21 said, congratulating Gohan on the great battle he had given her. However, Gohan remained calm, concentrating to unleash her full potential. An intense aura began to surround him. His eyes radiated a wild energy, indicating that something extraordinary was about to happen. Suddenly, Gohan released a deafening roar. That was his new beast transformation. Android 21, who was initially confident, stepped back in surprise upon witnessing Gohan's impressive transformation. Android number 21 said, Despite being a brat, your power level is high. But is that all? This power does not compare to me. Gohan said, Shut up, you crazy woman. I'll give you what you deserve. I will protect my family no matter what the cost. Gohan charged towards Android 21 with surprising speed and strength. Every blow he delivered carried with it an overwhelming energy. Number 21 now seemed to be at a disadvantage. Tried to defend himself, but suddenly in the middle of the chaos, Goku appeared and asked the two to stop fighting. When android number 21 saw Goku in front of her, with his eyes full of seriousness and calm, she couldn't resist and drowned in an immense desire to have him all to herself at that moment. But despite having reached him for years, he still felt like she wasn't close enough to him. However, her love would overcome this difficulty, and little by little, she would win over Goku in her own way, even if it was by force. Goku, who had arrived on the battlefield, stood next to his son Gohan. He was confused because the girl he had met a short time ago was apparently involved in all this confusion, and now she was different, looking like Majin Buu. And as much as Goku tried to understand why she had done it, he couldn't rationalize it into a logical answer. Even though Gohan was fighting with her, he appeared to not have suffered too serious damage, considering the fact that they appeared to be fighting a heated battle. When Goku realized this, he had noticed that the girl in front of him didn't really want to kill him, which made him relieved. Gohan said, "Oh, Dad, you've arrived. How good. Dad, before I say anything, I have a bad feeling about this woman. She's very strange. Plus, her recovery factor is very high. And as you can see, this crazy woman can also transform. Be careful about her," said Goku's son, warning his father. Goku said, "Oh, hello, Gohan. I see that you are using your newest form. It really transmits incredible power. From what I saw, you are really fine. But most importantly, tell me, Vomi, why are you doing all this? What is your goal? What do you want? We've only known each other for a short time, but I don't believe you're trying to kill me based on what I've seen, nor cause serious harm to Gohan. You didn't," android number 21 said. "How cute. You call me by my name even though I wasn't in my human form. You're so attentive, Goku. Even though I fought a battle against this brat, I didn't kill him because I know he has a connection with you. And after all, he will be my family too, right?" spoke android number 21, who contorted her body with excitement as she spoke. Gohan said, "Ha! You talk like you are the ability to at least try to kill me. I don't know if you noticed, but I wasn't fighting seriously. You better prepare yourself, you crazy woman," Gohan said, preparing himself in a combat pose. Goku said, "I didn't understand your last sentence. What are you talking about? Family? Look, I'm already married, and even though you're a very pretty girl, I'm not interested, you know? A wedding is a ceremony where two people who love each other very much end up committing their lives to each other. Although on the day Chi-Chi proposed to me, I didn't know any of this, but I leaned over time, so the only woman with the one I can stay with is Chi-Chi," said Goku while remembering the promise he made to Chi-Chi when she proposed to him when they were still very young. Android number 21 said, "I can't believe it. Do you think I'm pretty? My god, this compliment made me want to destroy countless planets and create fireworks in celebration. I'm sure our relationship will be more than perfect. But this whole ceremonial thing, don't pay any attention to it. You just have to stay with me, understand? We will stay together," Vomi said. And when she finished speaking, several sparks produced by her enormous evil ki began to appear due to her enormous nervousness. Goku said, "Look, this is all very confusing. Don't you think it's better if we leave it alone? I understand your feelings, however, I cannot respond to them," said Goku, who looked at the sky with pride at the current family he had. Android number 21, who was perplexed by Goku's response, could not accept the words she was hearing, and to try to disguise all these words said by Goku, she ended up putting it in her subconscious that she would conquer Goku no matter what the cost. But on the outside, she was very nervous and angry. Her ki ended up being expelled by her body in large quantities of evil energy. It was possible to see that the entire landscape around her had a more purple hue due to the enormous ki of android number 21. Goku looked at Vomi's enormous power increasing more and more. He decided to position himself in his combat stance. He already expected that something worse could happen, and if it did, he was prepared to face it with his own hands. Android number 21 was covered by a large amount of evil ki, and little by little it was possible to see that android number 21 changed her appearance, which was previously pink like the Majin's. Now her tone was purple with many spots on her body, spots that resembled Cell, and when Goku saw this, he had no idea what was happening to android number 21. When android number 21 finally finished her transformation completely, she looked at Goku with a Pisacopa look. Goku said, I see. So you want to fight, huh? His clothes were very reminiscent of the evil monster created by Bibbidi, the terrible Majin Buu. Well, I don't think it's worth asking you questions now. I see that you're quite upset and willing to fight, spoke the Saiyan, who took his classic battle position. Gohan said, Dad, let's fight together. I want to see how strong you've become in the meantime that you've been training on Mr. Beerus's planet, said Gohan, who was excited to fight alongside his father, using his new form. Goku said, Right, Gohan, you transmit incredible power. I want to see how much you've improved, said the Saiyan while activating his Ultra Instinct. Gohan and Goku went towards android number 21 and started the battle with several ki blasts. Father and son attacked the android in a very collaborative way. When the android tried to throw a punch or kick at one of the two, one of them always interfered, so that android's attacks were completely nullified. The battle was not giving the android advantages, as Goku and Gohan had enormous combat experience compared to her. However, Android tried to circumvent this with her magic when she tried to turn Gohan into a candy. Goku acted quickly and used her teleportation, and both appeared behind the android, causing her to get scared in sequence. She received a punch from both of them without wasting time. Goku threw a Super Kamehameha against the android without her being able to even have any kind of reaction. The android had suffered damage, but despite the Kamehameha having caused a lot of damage to the environment they were in, Android appeared to be fine. Goku and Gohan were confused as her attacks weren't that strong, so consequently her defense should also be the same. But Goku soon realized one thing. The clothes and everything in number 21 made reference to the demon Majin Buu was not pure coincidence, but rather that she possessed his powers. And soon after that, Gohan had realized the same thing. And the fact that she hadn't taken so much damage would be because of her enormous and rapid regeneration. Apparently, she had further improved Majin Buu's abilities. Goku started towards Android at high speed and released several guided energy blasts that were in front of Android 21. And when the energy balls were around the android, this Saiyan decided to fire them all at once. And when he did so, Gohan went towards Android and delivered a large and powerful flying attack, focused on the stomach. Android number 21 had actually been injured by that blow, and although she could regenerate, the pain wasn't stopping. It was as if her regeneration had been completely overtaken by Gohan's powers. Her regeneration was only taking care of the damage to her body. However, she could not regenerate the internal damage to her body. Goku said, I see you're not in a good condition to fight. You're having trouble regenerating, isn't it right? I realized that you have this power as soon as I saw your appearance. I'm a bit slow, but I ended up noticing this detail in time, and Gohan and I neutralized your regenerating, said the Saiyan, who had a big smile. Android number 21 spoke, Why? Why can't I even win over someone I love? Why is life so unfair to me? All I wanted was to be able to win over you, and that we could live happily somewhere completely disconnected from the world, said Vomi, who began to despair as she returned to her base form, and Gohan and Goku also did the same. Goku said, Look, Vomi, I understand your feelings. I know what you're trying to do. However, there's no way you can win over someone that way. I love Chi-Chi, so accept this for your own good. Look at you, a woman with such beauty being desperate and crying like that. I know you'll be able to find someone else. You just need to live in peace without attacking anyone or destroying anything, and you'll realize that there are more people that are interesting than me. Haha, said Goku, who was smiling, trying to comfort Android 21. Gohan said, Even though you attacked me, I'm sure you're not a bad person. It's true that you transmit evil ki. However, you didn't attack with real intentions of trying to kill me. You just lost, and you need help, said Gohan, who was also trying to console Android 21. Android number 21 began to expel large amounts of tears, and when she heard these words from Goku and Gohan, she had finally convinced herself that love is easier to feel than to conquer. After that, it left at high speed, flying in a direction that Goku and Gohan didn't know where it was. Even so, Goku and Gohan were smiling as they knew she could move forward, as she was an extremely strong person. Well guys, the story ends right here. Make sure to leave a like and subscription. Did you like the story? Let us know in the comments, as they help us a lot. Anyway, I say goodbye here. See you guys.